This is a story called Small Boy Ruins Mom's Day and Commits Sacrilege. Um, I would be the small boy. It's about my first experience with public speaking. It did not go well. And Mom's Day, as it is perhaps in all churches, was a big deal in our church, and I think we had the best attendance at church of any day of the year except maybe Easter. So the place would always be packed. Someone knew someone who had a flower store, and we would always get a great big donation of flowers in pots and many different kinds of beautiful flowers. And my mom's favorite was always included with lilies. She like those lilies. They have those big flowers, kind of creamy white, and my mother thought they were the most regal and sort of classy possible flower. The pastor and his wife, they would all be lined up on the altar rail, maybe I don't know, 24 pots of flowers. And pastor and his wife would be up there talking about moms and how wonderful moms are, and they would give away pots of flowers. And there was the youngest mom, the oldest mom, the mom with the most kids, the mom with the youngest baby. The fattest mom with red hair who just got out of the hospital for goiter surgery. I mean, lots and lots of moms. I think kind of the idea was that like most of the moms, lots of the moms in church would get a flower and be very happy. Now you would think that a little boy would have very little to do except sit there with his Sunday school class and clap. As it's about moms. It's not about little boys. But my mom thought the whole thing would be a lot better if a little boy got involved. Me. She thought I was really darn cute with my dark eyes, and I had long eyelashes. She thought that was really cute. And I was smart. Oh my goodness, I was so smart. And she liked to show me off. So what she thought was she found a poem about mothers, and she would I would read that poem up at the front of the church. And so she tells me about this, and I say, oh, so I wasn't reading it. I was supposed to recite it. And I said, I'm no way, no thank you. And that she got the pastor involved. And I had many misunderstandings with this guy, and I was not impressed with this guy, and he had no clout with me, whatever. However, what he said, and my mom nodding, was that he would give me a really nice present if I did it. And I decided it was a bicycle. They were gonna give me a bicycle. And man, did I want a bicycle. I wanted a 10-speed bicycle, bright red. And this is crazy on my part, but I mean, little boys have big imaginations, and I convinced myself that in fact they were going to give me a bicycle if all I did was memorize this poem. So man, I memorized it, and man, I was good too. I memorized it in like one setting. It was a poem about moms that consisted entirely of couplets. Like moms are neat. They help you slice up your meat and that kind of thing. And there was maybe 20 of these couplets about the wonderfulness of moms. I got good at it. I would practice in the living room, and I would stand up and I would gesture, and my voice was expressive, and I was probably completely hideous and horrible, but in my mind I was so good that I thought I might they might put me in the movies. I mean, I figured all the moms would jump up and I would get a standing ovation, and who knows, I might be carried out of that church. And there would probably be thousands of people from my town out there clapping and cheering because that's how good I was. In fact, I told my mama maybe I could do two poems, but she and the pastor thought one poem would be enough. So the day came, and they gave away all the flowers, and I'm just, hurry up, hurry up. I want to do my poem, get that bicycle. And finally the time came, and the pastor called my name, and little Gary Arms is going to treat us to a poem about Mother's Day. And I went up there, and I was just full of energy and confidence and everything. And I whirled around, And I looked at the congregation. There were rows and rows of children, and then there were lots of parents, and I don't know, 200 people staring at me, and I completely forgot the poem. I couldn't remember anything. I don't think I could remember my name. And my mom, I finally, way in the back of the church, I saw my mom. She was in the very last row. And she must have seen the panic in my eyes. And she yelled, the first line of the poem, mothers are neat, or, whatever it was. And I go, they help you cut up your goddamn meat. Well, I mean, I'm sure I didn't say goddamn, but, and that I went blank again, and she yelled, and I yelled, and that's how I got through the entire 20 couplets. I never got through more than one couplet without stopping in a complete panic, and my mom would yell, and then I would yell, and until finally I was done. And the congregation was laughing. They started laughing at the beginning of it when my mom yelled and I yelled, and then they were laughing more and more. And then, but toward the end, they quit laughing. I think everyone realized, oh my God, this is really not that funny. And as soon as I was done, the pastor came over to me and he gave me my present, and my present was a little green New Testament. I probably had half a dozen of them already at home. And I went back and I sat down there in the pew with my little friends, and I threw the New Testament on the floor, and my little friends were like, "Oh my God," and they were nice. They were trying to be nice, and there was a look in my eye that was so terrifying that they all began to kind of edge away from me. No one spoke to me, and the show went on, the presentations went on, and finally we were all done, and the whole Mother's Day, the program was done, and so now all the little kids we were all ushered away to go to the rooms where we had our Sunday school classes, and no one spoke to me, and I didn't speak to anyone, and the little New Testament laid there on the floor, and we walked away from it, and finally, I was in my Sunday school room, and I sat down in a chair, and no one spoke to me, and everyone was afraid of me, and they were kind of looking at me, and what was in my mind was homicide. I wanted uh, I wanted to kill all those children. I wanted to kill all the moms. I wanted to kill the pastor. I wanted to kill everyone in my hometown, anyone who might possibly ever hear of my complete and utter humiliation. I wanted them dead. I wanted I wanted a kind of Holocaust. There was one boy, a friend of mine, kind of a friend of mine, and he had made a cross out of matchsticks. I don't know if you've ever seen things like that. You cut out a cardboard cross, and then you glue the matchsticks to it, and it's hundreds of matchsticks. You take wooden matches and you light them and you blow it out immediately and let it cool, and then you glue it real carefully, and it takes hours and hours to make one of these. It's kind of like it looks like a sunburst of matches when you're all done. And he thought, I think, that the cross is the cross of Jesus. It would calm me down maybe, and take my mind off my troubles. And he showed it to me, and I looked at it. I'm sure I was just blank faced. And he did a I think kind of a terrible thing in a way. He didn't mean it to be terrible. He handed me the cross, and just like that, I was possessed by some horrible feeling, and I threw the cross. I threw the cross of Jesus, and the cross of Jesus hit a wall hard, and the matches popped loose, and they just rained down to the floor. And I heard a gasp, a kind of a collective gasp, and then silence. Um, I had destroyed the cross of Jesus. After that, a lot of people in the church thought I might be demon possessed. That was my first experience of public speaking.